Hello everybody and welcome back to another Paz VOD review. I know that, Overwatch 2 just went down, so this is the best we got. We don't have replay codes yet from Overwatch League, but today we have something special. I have my good friend B-Dog, also known in-game as Lotad, if you want to introduce yourself to the crowd.
What's up? My name is B-Dog or Lotad. I'm a 3300 Ana OTP player.
Ana OTP player? You only play Ana?
I only play Ana.
Oh, nothing else?
Nope.
Is there a reason why you only play Ana?
Baptiste is boring.
And what about Zen?
Zen.
Alright, well, good to know that you like Ana. I like Ana too, because that's kind of what I do. But what I saw, did you say you were 3,500 on this?
3,300.
3,300. What's your peak?
33, 32.
Oh, so this is like literally at your peak.
Yeah.
About. Okay, that's good. And I recognize you being from console, remember?
Yes.
And what were you on console?
I think I was 4K flat.
Okay, I mean, that's pretty normal to be where you are right now, unless you've, done some, serious grinding. So, I mean, I wouldn't feel bad about being where you are, and I don't think you do really care. I think you just want to get better, which is totally fine. Another thing that I wanted to actually highlight is I'm pretty sure you were in the Paz Community Clash as well, for Team Kurobi, and you made me take the L, so, you're an asshole. Anyways, another thing I do want to say to everyone that might be watching this on YouTube, before we actually start, is that Sapphire, the Brig player here, is also a good friend of mine who is also a streamer. B-Dog's also a streamer. We'll talk about all that stuff at the end, but just know that if I'm talking more about the Brig side of things with the Ana, that would be why, because I do have friends on both sides. But I do like to start off talking to you about Ana and her Nano Boost. If you don't have any other questions, you're good to go right into this.
Right.
All right, cool. So, things I like to talk about with Ana are nanos and positioning and just how the characters you are playing, how it is different depending on what you have. So, we're going to talk about nanos first. I need you to give me one target that you think is good with nano on your team. Why is Soldier 76 good with nano?
I believe his nano visor is really strong and can be a very good fight winner. Also, he's just a pure laser character. With good aim, he's really good. Okay.
Good aim doesn't really happen unless you're in, well, to be honest, it doesn't happen anywhere because ranked is kind of a shit show. So just keep that one in mind. And because it's kind of like that, and what can Soldier be blocked by?
Diva.
And?
Monkey Bubble. Genji Deflect.
What is Monkey Bubble?
Shield.
It's a shield. So shields and DM, you want to make sure that those things are somewhat clear or he's in a good position in which that won't be a problem. A common mistake, especially with the nano visor, is we use it and we don't clear those things. And then sure, nano visor is quote unquote good, but we haven't set it up to actually be good. So we have to make sure that we are cognizant of where our soldier is playing. And if he's in a bad position and you know it's going to do nothing, even if he's bitching at you, just tell him to just whatever, dude. I don't care. Shut up. And, I'm nanoing the hog. So what might a few more good nanos be? To be honest, you could argue anyone on this team, but give me another character who you could nano in the situation and why you would want to nano that.
I would say hog while he's whole hogging to keep him alive would be a good one.
Or if he gets a big hook on the tank, right? Okay.
Ball going in for a slam engagement.
That's alright, yeah. It's not my favorite, but it's okay. It's not my favorite, but it's okay. I think Tracer's... I like nanoing the Tracer, but that's also because I had Rocket on my team, who was just the best Tracer NA, so I'm just used to nanoing Rocket. Maybe, when would you nano a Brig?
Brig, when the Brig is either low health and getting dove. Usually... It doesn't really happen much, but if rally's off and it's kind of our last hope, nano the rally in and try and save point.
Okay, and we're going to talk about one more usage. Right now, actually. So, let's say they have Nano Blade. Would nanoing the Brig be okay?
Yes.
Why would it be okay?
Because Brig has stun and boop to protect me and herself.
But, let's say that you're split from your Brig a little bit. And the Genji dashes on your Brig first with Nano Blade. A situation in which you can low-key carry a fight as on a Brig is by nanoing your Brig because he made the mistake of going after your Brig first. And he will not be able to kill a Brig if the Brig is good at the game. with all things considered. If you nade a brig and nano her at the same time against the nano blade, the brig will win because she has bash, whip, and insane heals. That nano is not going to kill if the brig is good. So that's another thing that you might want to look out for. If you're playing against Bradley, a smurfing Genji maybe, and he's just tearing through your team with nano blade every time, sometimes nanoing the brig is okay, especially to counter a blade, because that is such a big ultimate. Or if she doesn't have rally, or if it's like Lucio and he needs a little bit more to get beat. Nanoing a support is okay, and low-key, a lot of the times in ladder, I'm doing that if my support duo sucks. If my support duo is good and I know who they are and I know their name and I'm like, okay, they can probably function competently, I won't always nano them, but I'm at an increased... I'm looking for nano at an increased rate when I'm playing with people that I'm like, I don't know if they're really... I don't know how good they're doing. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's just the right call. So, does that make sense? Okay. Last thing I'm going to say about that is you don't always have to combo with Nano. Nano is the whole idea of an ultimate and using it. The combos, it just makes winning a fight easier. Mm-hmm. If you're winning a fight with an ultimate and you're not over-ulting, it doesn't really matter how you use that ultimate. There are better ways to use it so it gets a little bit more. But if it's still going to win you the fight, at the end of the day, it's winning you the fight. So keep that in mind. So let's talk about positioning. How are you going to position? Let's not talk about the map. With what they have, how are you going to position?
I would position myself with the brig because they're running dive. So having another support to be able to CC their tanks away is really important. And hopefully, I could play farther back, but I feel like if I'm by myself, it's not worth it. Okay.
So why is it being by yourself not worth it?
Because if I get dove by, let's say, their team comp, like a Genji, Winston, Diva, and I'm singled out, then they're down their main support.
Yeah, well, they're their main healer.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're playing against a dive as Ana, is it better to stick with your team or far away from your team?
With.
Yes. Okay. Cool. Another thing that I want to say in terms of your aggression, do you have to play far back with your brig?
No.
Okay. I agree. Why is it that way?
I would.
Are you at any increased danger by being closer in the fight? Not like brawl distance, unless you're playing, because you're not playing brawl. You're still playing like an angled based comp. But a common thing a lot of lower level Anas, well, not even lower level, all Anas make, is not understanding how powerful Brig is at keeping you alive in Overwatch 1 and being more aggressive by doing that. You can be a lot more aggressive and carry a lot harder. So when your ball's on a flank and your ball's taking a lane, your hog's on an angle, you can also take an angle with what? What is the biggest thing that Anas need to be doing right in order to climb consistently? What is the biggest cooldown that they could possibly be hitting consistently?
Antis.
Yes. Big anti-nades. Better positions that can get you easier anti-nades make your life very, very easy. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Last thing, looking at what they have, saving sleeps when they have Nanoblade is great. Same thing with a High Noon. And with a Primal or any monkey that is jumping in, just make sure that you communicate to your team when this dude is primaling, I'm about to sleep in 2, 1, sleep. And if you miss, I missed. If you sleep, don't say anything else. If you don't have sleep, be like, I don't have sleep, I don't have sleep. You guys can beam them. That's like the most important thing in terms of communication. If we're talking about just basic micro, macro is like not that important in this specific situation because it's ladder, but does that make sense?
Yes.
Last thing, don't try to be sleeping moths unless you're a Johnny G. And it's easy to sleep. Or there's situations, but just like don't go for the crazy plays because you think it looks cool. So are you ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, let's start this off. So let's talk about Watchpoint Gibraltar. What is the most important place to have on first point of Watchpoint Gibraltar? Yes, high ground is the most important thing. If you give up high ground, you are throwing. And all of NA thinks that giving up high ground is cool. Even in Tier 3 and Tier 2. They are wrong. High ground, specifically blue box, is so important to keep that I don't understand why people drop it. So it's good that you understand that. So, okay, you're just playing with your team. This is totally fine. There's a vibing in the Ritz car. Right here, it's just, in my opinion, a little bit too aggressive.
Okay.
If you hear the Winston, which I guess, I get you can't hear, but like, I wouldn't be swinging this wide. I would be holding this corner here, because you never know when there's a Widow. If there's ever a Widow that's going to then be like in this doorway,
right?
And you don't know, and then you have to cross through there, you will die. You don't need to expose yourself here because you're not getting any additional value. You can just play right here. It also allows you to hear that Winston and then immediately turn on him with an anti-nade because he's just playing way too aggressive. Like, look how low this dude is. If you're there to also support your soldier, you keep your soldier alive with nade and also kill the Winston. So that's just like, don't tunnel vision on this high ground so much because, to be quite honest, you're not going to find value unless someone else sets it up for you. Or this guy like trolls extremely hard, and people just aren't going to troll that hard in like mid diamond. They troll pretty damn hard, but they're not going to troll that hard. It's one of those things, like, you have a brig, you also have nade, you will be fine. You can be as aggressive as you want to be in Overwatch 1. Overwatch 2, it low-key kind of is the same. In specific situations, you just have to be a little bit smarter about it. Overwatch 2, Overwatch 1, you can just kind of be like no brain kind of shit sometimes. So like right here, when the Diva's forced off and she's won, now's your time to be aggressive here. They have a Cassidy and Genji. It's 3 minutes and 40 seconds now, not 3:45. So you know that's what they have. You can be aggressive here and look how huge this nade is, because you know that the Diva's aggression is over here and she's about to be out of mech. It's stuff like that, because the moment you anti this entire backline, they lose. They cannot push you. And you're healing your team so much because of the aggression they cannot have on you anymore. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, let's keep going. Yeah, honestly, all of this right here, if you can either be more aggressive and look for that nade, or the next position you'd want to rotate to is not down here. It's jumping across here and playing this blue box. Never rotate to server. You're giving them way too much high ground. Remember, that's the whole goal of this map.
Gotcha.
And that's a map-specific thing, not necessarily a cooldown thing. So right here now, you're giving them too much space. You're not being aggressive enough with your nades, and they're getting to do whatever they want. You anti this Winston's backline. The team knows that, and then they cannot be as aggressive as they want to be. So now you're forced to use nade to actually heal your team, damage that they otherwise would not have taken. So just keep that in mind. Being aggressive with anti-nade actually heals your team too, in a way, effectively. Yeah. It's this weird concept, but it works. So yeah, here all this is you're playing way too passively, not being aggressive enough with your positioning and your abilities, that you're letting them walk over your team. Yeah, because like imagine this scenario, right? They're all playing point, and you're actually holding the blue box. Again, free anti-nade opportunity, because you're letting the map play to you. You're not trying to be like ML7 on the Ana.
Right.
You're not trying to hit all your shots. Even though you really are just hitting all your shots. That was a little bit of an aggressive anti-nade, considering the fact that Diva is faceful. Yeah. Yeah. It's a little bit aggressive. I don't typically try to anti-Divas either, unless it's like she's like taking some considerable damage and I see someone that's able to like follow up on it. So it's not the worst though. Right here's one of those situations in which, yeah, nanoing the Tracer I guess is fine. I personally probably would have nanoed my Brig, considering the fact that we're in a very dangerous position, and Brig will be able to keep me alive much easier and maintain that space. Personally, I think that's better, but that's like low-key, that's like an Overwatch League like / tier 2 level mistake. So I'm not really gonna nitpick on that. Somehow you managed to get out. But okay, the thing is, the main problem here was you weren't aggressive with your nades, and it led to this situation. Right. So it's pointless to look at this situation when it could have been avoided all along. So that was a good sleep. Big thing, you make sure that you never tunnel vision on, especially on a Winston. Kill this ball this entire time. Gotcha. Trust yourself, you'll be fine. Do not tunnel vision on sleeps. That seems like it might be a problem consistently, because a lot of players do that. And then it overall lets you to anti the Winston when you didn't really need to. Genji then sees, oh, that was just like a free nade, and now you lose. Yeah, you lose 5 there. So, do you have any questions?
No.
Alright, let's keep moving here. You were running out of spawns, so you didn't get to get high ground, but understand that high ground is very nice as Ana on this specific point. You also have the ability. Yep, okay. So, let's talk about a few things. So, high ground, yada, some. Let's move into this fight. You know they have Blade.
Mm-hmm.
So, how do Genjis typically... You play Genji, so you should know this. What is the typical pattern that Genjis use when they Blade?
Slash or dash slash.
Not combo. How do they set themselves up?
They dash up in the air.
And then what do they do?
They get nano, they pop Blade, they dash down on the supports.
Yes. So let me put arrows here. So let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put 3 lines. What This is a weird graphic, so give me some time. Can you still see the black lines?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, there's a circle at the top. It doesn't really show, but... So is it path 1, 2, or that's a 2?
Yeah.
That is a 2. Or 3. What is the easiest path to sleep?
3.
Why 3?
Because he's coming straight towards you.
Yes, he's coming into your sleep dart, so you literally don't have to aim.
Yeah.
So this is one of those things that it's like, you know that it's coming,
mm-hmm.
but patience is a virtue.
Yeah.
Because what happens was he did that... Okay. To be honest, the Diamond Genji didn't do this, but let's just say he did. He did a weird pattern, because they do this at higher elos. They will do a really dumb-looking pattern
mm-hmm.
in order to get that sleep dart out of you, and now look, he's engaging on your team, and I think he still has dash. But he's dashing into your backline, actually, right now as we speak. So, that's the whole idea. Being aggressive with your sleep is okay, but understand the execution that's required to actually do it. And I know I put that in my Ana guide, you probably already watched it, but I'm just reiterating that fact that that's one of the situations. Take a deep breath when Nanoblade's the thing. Nanoblade isn't that scary so long as you're smart about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is a scary combo unless you, like, take deep breaths and just focus on countering it. Sometimes you will just get hard fucked, but, like, that was one of those moments that it was kind of on you.
Yeah.
Alright, yep, that's fine. That was a great sleep, fantastic, and great nade. See, that's the stuff you need to do every fight. Okay. At the end of every fight. The start of the fight was pretty bad, but you know what? We got away with it.
This was on me. I didn't hear the high nade.
Yeah, you understand. You literally face tanked it, you saw it. Like,
yep.
At this point, I'm just going to mention again, take high ground, you can take it through forklifts. You can just jump up the forklifts.
I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah. So, look up the car key video or something that does that. There's a way to jump up forklifts. Okay, we're just vibing. Yep. That's one of those moments. Call sleep dart. Something pretty simple. I know we're saying a lot about sleep dart. It's mostly with ultimates and how just sleeping the ultimate is the first step. There's a little bit more to it to avoid people waking it up.
Yeah, my team chat here wasn't really active.
So I don't agree with this nano.
Okay.
Why do you think I don't agree with the nano?
Because it's just our ball there. It's just a ball versus 6 players.
That's one. What's another thing? What do you get another of?
Retouch.
Yeah, you get another fight.
Yeah.
And Nano's very important to take this next fight because it's the only way you're pretty much going to breach through without your monkey just dying on engage.
Right.
So the right call here is to not nano your ball because he hasn't even, like, you should probably nano your ball when he's actually slamming, like, in the animation.
Okay.
Not before he even does it because that is, you're telegraphing it so Theana knows to sleep it. And now you have no realistic option to engage because now Sapphire also used Rally. So, like, now you're really screwing yourself over on a fight that's already been lost. So, I feel like a lot of what I'm saying is kind of, like, really nitpicky stuff, but, like, it is a lot of different mini mistakes.
No, that makes sense, too.
And okay, somehow your ball is not dead. It's amazing to me. And your Doom's getting value. Just understand, in a higher SR lobby, that
won't work. Yeah.
That will not happen. Okay.
This is probably where I can rotate the height.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. I'm not even gonna stop it. You already know. Yep. Yep. High ground is the main mistake now because you're. Before you didn't really have time, so I kind of gave you a pass, but like now it's
just open. And
it's just like open, and you should be up here at least, or on ship to drop down to here and then drop back. You know, stuff like that. Nice. That's much better. The positioning was pretty bad. I mean, we already highlighted that. But this was much better. Tell me why.
I waited for him to dash towards me instead of going for the mid-animation sleep.
And to be quite honest, it still wasn't a perfect sleep dart, but you took your time with it, and you weren't, like, making the sleep harder than it needed to be. So, that was good. Right here, positioning gap.
Here, I don't die,
Positioning gap, and also you probably could have maybe made it back there if you turned around. You actually walk faster in the direction you're pointing.
Oh, okay.
To do that. It's minuscule, but in moments like those, it does.
Right.
So yeah, high ground. Yeah, I don't know why you keep pathing down here. Like, just take the high ground. Sometimes there's moments in which high ground isn't beneficial, but this is not one of them. Like,
okay.
You want to be on high ground because it forces them to use cooldowns to really get to you, and then you can just drop off, and now they don't have cooldowns. Instead of them just having a cooldown into your backline, which is like giving them stuff for free, essentially. Scoping in here is very dangerous. You let the entire team know that you're there. Do tracer rounds, and you're also very slow. Another mistake. Okay, but now we're on point 3. Do you have any questions?
No.
All right, let's keep going. So they have it nanoed in a bit, and they have a monkey, so understand that a nano monkey is most likely inbound.
Yeah.
And that right on third point, if it's possible, where should you take?
Height, top left?
Probably right here, yeah?
Yeah, the bridge, yeah.
So that your team can take the engagement here. If that's not possible, playing back here is fine. Just keep that in mind, because it helps you do two things. It helps you force out their cooldowns, because you can immediately drop afterwards. It also helps you be more aggressive with anti-nades.
Right.
So it's the stuff like that that can set you up. You just seem very passive.
Yeah.
I think you need to be more aggressive if you want to like win. So yep, here he has a free ticket into your backline. Sapphire's in the right to boop that. You just have to know that she's gonna boop that.
Right.
The rally I don't think was really needed, to be quite honest. I think you could have just naded her and she would have been fine. Overall, I see what the mistakes kind of are. Like right here, we need to be aggressive with nade. Anti that Ana, and then she's dead. Like she is effectively dead. Because we're holding on to, we're sleeping instead of doing what we should be doing with sleep with nade. Like nade is more powerful than sleep. I hope you understand that, because it's low-key better than most ultimates in the game. That doesn't mean you should hold it, because it's only on a 12 second cooldown actually. But alright, we're probably looking for nano here. It's right here again. It's like, just take that high ground. It's given to you for free. You've won the fight. Take that aggressive positioning. That will allow you to, let's see if you're on high ground here. Look how free this is. That is a 5-man anti and you nano your doom. He literally can't lose. There's nothing stopping him from just bashing the enemy's team's head in. So
I think I just play really passive against dive. I think
you don't do that. Don't do that against anything, because I'm gonna be honest, you might think it's just dive. It's gonna be everything. Because there's always gonna be some pressure element.
I don't know.
Oh,
did you see that?
That surprised even. Johnny G Nano?
Real.
Get in there.
Okay, I mean, there was line of sight at the start of the cast. I'll take it. Alright, big sleep. You communicate that he's sleeping, probably. Sapphire didn't know to kill. If you're gonna wake it up, Sapphire needs to swing on that. And you need to communicate that that's the plan. But that's nitpick. Honestly, right there, I would have seen that the... let's bring this back a little bit and tell you how I would do this and why I think this was incorrect. One, tunnel vision. Cool. Honestly, in this moment, I probably would have messed up and naded him to try to like heal him faster. But now we have nade and sleep, and he's not dead. Bubble goes down. Immediately, what you need to be telling your team: break bubble, break bubble, break bubble, break bubble. Then, you like right here. This guy is in no danger. He does not need your healing right now, especially when being more aggressive and anteing this actually effectively would heal him more because now he can't even take damage.
Right.
So by doing this, Mercy gets the res off. But look how big this anti-nade would have been.
Right.
Burning monkey anti-naded? And your Sigma's alive with ball? He's dead! Even if they get that sleep, or they get that res off. Like, this nade here carries the game. So now, D.Va gets back in mech. Your team is now in courageous effort here, but is in so much pressure. The D.Va gets to fly out because the anti-nade doesn't mean anything. She's not low, so people can't follow up on it. It's a useless anti-nade now, and your team is falling. This wouldn't have happened had you been more aggressive with nade. And that's the most important thing. Like, look at the Ana. She nades both of your tanks, and now look how fast your fucking Sigma died.
Yeah.
Like, look how fast that is. Again, your sleeps are fine. For the most part, they're pretty decent. But we're constant nanoing this D.Va when she's not low, and it's hurting you a lot. Yeah. So already what I can say is positioning. High ground is great. Reason being, you can be more aggressive, which is what you need to be doing with your anti-nades. It carries games. I could literally make one video and be like, how to climb as Ana. Dude, I should make a video like that. Huh. I just found out a video idea. How to climb as Ana in Overwatch 2. Hashtag be aggressive. Like, I'm gonna get so much flack for that video, though. I don't know why I haven't thought of that. Like, how to climb as X character. It's different than a guide video.
Yeah.
What? Wow! Yo, write that down! Write that down! Alright, anyways, next. Do you have any questions?
No.
Ready for battle.
Alright, so they have double hit scan now, yada yada yada. Same thing. Take high ground, be aggressive. It's so easy to nade this team, bro.
Yeah.
It's so easy. They're standing still. So easy. And you're also playing ball hog, so like again, be aggressive. Take those angles. Oh, you switched your skin?
Yeah.
No, stay on Bastet. This skin sucks.
Listen.
I'm not listening. Bad skin.
Variety's the spice, or spice. Yeah. Variety's the spice of life.
Thing I always call for: always get a Symmetra for this. Just get high ground immediately.
Yeah, it's TP over there.
We did it when we were playing together when I was on my
ult,
so it does a lot for you. I think you can kind of just see, even at a low elo, just like having this high ground and then putting your Winston or I guess your hog on cart and then just walking. It's the way to play the map now. It's the way to play the map. I'm surprised that it's just now that ladder is starting to do it. We've been doing that shit in trials for like 3-4 years now. Like, it's so easy. I don't know. Yeah, right here, problem. The first thing you need to do on Watchpoint is take that high ground.
Yeah.
But understand why you're doing it. Understand how it's possible to do that. And you put your hog or ball on card. Yeah. Honestly, like, just walk up there. Just be. You have a brig, like you can walk into them.
Yeah.
This is bad because like now you've gotten the opportunity to push them back, but you can't get them off of it because you're not there. Like this is really bad. And then you can't do anything with your nades. You can't hit any shots. Your team's out of your LOS. And then at this moment, a lot of people would be on Reddit like, my team's never in my LOS. This is your fault. Sometimes it's your team's fault, but a lot of times it's low key not.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you guys just need to fight your fight. So that's just an awareness issue. You die now. Wait.
No.
Okay. Yeah, that's just like mechanics.
Diamond.
You just couldn't practice to get better at that situation. Because low-key you could have carried that if you just killed the cast. And you had the opportunity to, but for some reason you focused the diva, so whatever. Get good, scrub! I can only say that because you're my friend, so. Bye. Anyways, yeah, problem here is please just tell your team to take high ground. This is a cardinal sin.
Yeah.
Especially when you have your brig as your duo. Like,
yeah.
Tell Saf, we're taking high ground. I don't care if the team doesn't come with us. In this moment, the monkey has invested jump and does not have primal. I would be nanoing something. Unless your hog is just like Gibba mode and just killing people. Okay, cool, whatever. Problem there. Positioning that lets you not be aggressive with antis. It's almost like we've been talking about that for the past 32 minutes. Yeah, you just... Okay, Kobe.
I killed the mercy.
That's funny. So should you ever be on cart?
No.
Nope. It's probably your tracer or your ball.
Yeah.
You should be taking high ground in moments like these. Now you got a free ticket with the monkey into your backline. You still don't die because it was very poorly coordinated. And you're just sitting here, vibing. It's fine. Big anti-nade. But you die. Okay. High ground, lol.
Yeah.
It's positioning gap. Because you can just drop off. Because even if they soft dive you, at least they had to use the sleep or the jump. Anti-nade was just thrown because, I don't know, it gives me good luck. And now you don't have it for when you should be rotating through here. Breaking that bubble, and then, wow, you just antied their whole team?
Yeah. I think I was trying to kill the teammate that...
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it a stack. Sorry, I'm talking over you. Keep it a stack. Like, your sleeps really aren't that bad, and usually this is how Ana goes. Like, there's one aspect of the kit, it's usually the nade that people just aren't aggressive with. And you just need to be aggressive. Like, Ana's the pub stomp support.
Right.
And I'm very confident in saying that. I just don't think she's a good character. Quite frankly, I don't think she's good. She hasn't been a meta for so long because she's just so niche compared to these other supports that have so much power. Right. So it's kind of like Hog, where if you're going to pick Hog, you need to just be like killing things. As Ana, you just need to be anteing and sleeping. Right. Like, it low-key is an ego character. And I think that's why people don't like seeing me play Ana in ladder, because it's like, I'm just going to play Ana and ante the full team and just carry. When I'm in team play, if shit's going south, I will tell my team, I'm going Ana and carrying. Or like, I'm going to go Zen and carry. And it's like, that is a strat. Like, it's real. In ladder, it works. But if you're going to play these characters, you have to be aggressive unless it's like double shield or like there's a certain circumstance. But this is one of those moments where you're just playing so passive for what? Like how are you really helping your team? By like shooting into a full health hog. You're not really doing anything. You're low-key trolling by not just like getting up here and maybe like forcing their Ana off height, you know? Right. It's stuff that there's so many more options if you're just more aggressive, and I think you'll see that as you start playing more and more. And then yeah, you opt to drop the high ground. I mean, crazy sleep. Like, you see her for half a second, you hear the blink, you sleep it, and like almost kill her with her own pulse. Insane, but like it's held back by the fact that you're just not being aggressive. Yeah. Like, you be aggressive, you're GM in this season for sure. It's not even a fucking question. Oh, I just dropped the F-bomb in the video. Whatever, I don't care. And now, yeah, you can just walk out there. You don't have to be, like, shy. You can just go. And go for either cleanup or kill the Orisa. Yeah, and then it's so obvious that you're not used to using your nade aggressively because then you miss your nades. Yeah. Overall, just be more aggressive and you will hit GM. Like this, you can definitely be GM. Yeah, good sleep again. Jesus Christ, these people suck nowadays.
Yeah.
Like Bradley, what's going on, man? Like that dude's movement was bad. You didn't have to move your crosshair. And he's close 1v1 in that brig. All right, what should you be doing here?
Go on the right side, take high ground.
Yeah, literally any high ground.
Yeah.
And hide and hide and hide and hide and hide. I would be playing up here. They have double shield, so you know that they're going to be wanting to play a choke. You want your team to be taking the engagement on this corner. You peek out, you anti-nade 6, and you win the fight. Oh my god, I won the game. I'm so good. But like all you did was press one button. Like people think that Ana is a mechanics-based character, and she's like low-key kind of not. Like she's kind of easy. As if you just think your way through things and make things easier on yourself. If you make things hard on yourself, then it's hard. But I mean, you do need to aim. But like,
it's not. As
I can tell you straight up, like, you're playing passive against double shield. Can't do that.
Yeah.
Cannot do that. You need to be looking for those angles for high ground for any opportunity that you can do to nade.
Yeah.
Especially against double shield, because if you can nade double shield, they lose even harder than dive does, because they are stuck where they are. And they don't get healing from BAP or Moira, yeah, it's GG's. It's over. Again, one of those moments you can nano your hog if you want to. I don't love the nano the hog when the fight's already won, so you could have kept it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But right here, next step. What's coming next? Okay, the Tracer can force me off on low ground and like make my life miserable. I want to force her to use blinks to get up to me. I'm gonna play high ground, and it also gets me better anti-nades. If the Tracer does force me off, I can drop to my brig, and then now they have no cooldowns to take any further fights. Like, it's stuff like that. Good sleep. Okay, anti-nade. It stops him from getting anything, and now all that damage that he could have possibly done with that nano is now mitigated. So you just healed about 600 to 1,000 points of health there just with one nade. I hope you understand that. And yeah, there we go. It's textbook. So I know we've been talking a lot about positioning and how high ground's important, yada yada yada. I want to not lead you astray. High ground is not always the answer.
Right.
What I'm trying to give you is the ideas, the thought process of thinking through like why taking high ground is good and how it could be bad. Because if you like hard flank on high ground and they just like nano monkey and you're not in a spot where you can drop to your team, like high ground could be bad, and you almost might want to play a little farther back on a different set of high ground or whatever have you, you know? Because the two dualities of positioning is I'm too passive, or I think high ground is the coming messiah. Like we're saved. You have to understand the happy medium of why high ground is good, why being aggressive is good in some situations, why being passive is good in other situations. And I hope this VOD is helping you think through that.
Right. Yeah.
I hope. But do you have any questions before we just finish this overtime up?
No.
Okay. So you have Torb now. So there's no reason you should die against their comp at all. You should never die. You should be playing in turrets LOS, and you should be supporting the Torb, and you have Brig as well. It's so free. You will not die. This allows you to be what? With your nades? Aggressive. So you nade, bam, you nade the Winston, and now he can't be aggressive, and he dies. Wow. And that was like, you still could have done more there. You know, like you still could have carried harder. And yet here we are. Talking about, wow, you popped off and now you're a Masters Ana player. Like, it's not rocket science. It's just that you didn't know this was a thing before. Right. So that's, I think, don't feel bad that you didn't know this before. It's just like you hadn't thought of it. So yeah, right here, you know they're coming on this down bottom right side. The thing I'd be looking for is just looking between here and this angle, seeing if they leave, seeing if they're still engaging with it, and then looking for an 8. That's what I'd be thinking right now. Gotcha. So it's all intel here. Okay, yeah, they're forcing us to go down. Honestly, when you're playing with Sapphire, trust the Brig's gonna hit it. She's good. Yeah. She's good with Brig mechanics. I think macro-wise is where she might be struggling a little bit, personally. Because if she's locking Brig every game, there might be situations in which Brig is low-key a throw, and she needs to like learn that. But micro-wise, like, she's not missing whip shots on Winston, so you can trust her if you're dealing with her.
Yeah.
Great. That's a good anti-nade. Reason being, D.Va used something to get onto you, and she's half health, so realistically, your Brig could have been more aggressive there and kill that. Like, that's a good time to anti the D.Va, but when she's maxed and she didn't use jets, like, you know, it's better to just nade the team that is gonna... That's the next level of nade, but being more aggressive in general with nade's the first step. Okay, again, that's just a little bit too much tunnel vision on the Genji for my liking.
Okay.
Your team is set up. You know the Genji's there. He does not have dash, I don't think. No, he does. I don't know how he's all the way back there without dash. But again, you have Brig. You do not need to be scared. You also have a turret to come off to. That was good. It could have just been a little faster. Right. And right here, your Brig drops high ground. Again, macro thing. Macro from both of you. High ground's important. Your Hog's still just carrying, so now you can just take the fight to point. You try to kill the Lucio maybe with nade. Are we nading this? Can we find a nade? Don't nade your team. Nade the enemy. Because now you can kill the Lucio and he doesn't just, like, you get nanoed and, like, stall. You know? Anti-nades makes all this go away. I mean, you still got away with it, but just understand, better Lucios will stall that for, like, 15 seconds. And all right, another thing. Do you have any questions?
No.
Did you not like the last skin you switched to?
Listen, okay, I like this skin.
I think it's a good skin. The gun is just huge. Like,
yeah.
Don't play this skin. You can look at this skin. Don't play this skin.
So the only question I actually have is, if my teammates are like extremely low, would you suggest scoping in, or like quick scoping it, or should I just not?
Depends. If you don't think the projectile is going to heal them, and in time, you can scope, but you also have to understand that there is a little bit of a fallout or a cutoff where it's like, can I nade that and actually heal them? Or is it better for me to just let them die, not force myself to scope because the Genji's behind me and that lines up a free 3 shuriken for him in the head?
Right.
Like, there's a lot of things to think about. And if I were you, that's a good question. I'd focus more on the basic mistakes you're making. They're not really basic. Intermediate mistakes that you're making. I think that's the better call here. So here, again, same thing. Like, if you want to try to be taking high ground, you also want to make sure you're looking out for that stupid shit that people always pull. They always do that. Right here, like... Oh, that's just unlucky. That was a good nade, but like that just got blocked by your team, and now you're okay. That's on your Cassidy. Still, even in this situation, your team needs to take high ground because what you do is, like, in this situation, if you take high ground, you can literally just force them like this, and then they're stuck in there.
Yep.
So unless they're playing like goats in Overwatch 2 with Junker Queen, they want to stake down there. Even then, I'd still surround them with like Ana if I'm playing that. Like.
I will say this OT took like the whole time.
Yeah, because you're giving them the top of the ditch, and they're giving you the bottom of the ditch. The solution is take high ground. Like, the solution to every problem on this map is just always high ground. It's such an easy map to understand. That's why I love it so much. Unless it's second point. I hate second point because it's momentum based. So that's a little bit aggressive. The Hog has hook. You know, take high ground. We're just gonna 2x this just for time's sake. Like, I was a grenade on Hog, you should be able to kill him. And then your supports got too aggressive and let their Sig just shoot at you in enclosed space. Solution, high ground. It's so annoying that I keep saying it. I understand you probably want me to shut the hell up, but just drilling it in there. That this is one of those situations where it's just so important.
I just rotate up, yep.
So like this is downtime.
Yeah.
What should we do? Poke people on high ground. It's a good sleep, but now your team can't follow up on it because you're not there. You force yourselves into the ditch. You know.
Yeah.
But and then you get and then your team just out mechanics. Alrighty. So, do you have a piece of paper?
I can open the notes app.
I need you to get a piece of paper. On God.
Alright, I'll be back.
Yes. So, people watching on YouTube. The most important thing, as Ana, I'm going to write this in the lean color. Is this too dark? No, it's purple. Lean. I want more lean. I love lean. We need to be hitting more purples, guys. We need to be aggressive. If you haven't figured it out already on this channel, damage is healing. I literally have a video about it. I'm not gonna, to be honest, I'm probably not gonna remember to link it. Whatever. If you love lean, you love Ana Overwatch. If you love lean, Ana's your character, okay? Ana is your character. So that's something very important to think about. So you want to think about how you're going to be aggressive with nades and understand that being aggressive with nade doesn't mean you're losing healing. You're getting healing off of that. So
right,
it's very important. So my first thing is lean.
All right.
If you love lean, Ana's your character. So if you love lean a lot, you should like spread the joy of lean and purple and anti-nade the enemy team.
Mm-hmm.
So to be quite honest with you, don't write down lean. Write down aggro antis.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I like to think about it is like a 90-10 split. 90% of the time I'm looking for purples. 10% of the time I'm looking for anti-nades alongside heals of my team. Like I'm looking, or no, that's not true. That's not true. 10% of the time I'm looking to just nade myself or my team. Within that 90% of antis, if I get an opportunity where both of my tanks are fighting it out and they have no cooldowns and they have to take this fight, like a Ryan v Ryan or a Winston v Winston and both don't have jump, I'm antiing and heal nading my Winston. I immediately carry the fight for my Winston. He just has to hold left click and be sentient.
Right.
So that's one of those things. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. Number 2. This kind of goes alongside the aggro antis is positioning and being aggressive, understanding ways in which you can be aggressive with your positioning. And it depends on the comp, right? Like if I'm playing against Dive, I can be more aggressive. I can unironically be more offensive and be more in their face. When I'm playing Brawl, I have to step back a little bit. I can't be in their face, but I can still look for like high ground antis and look to anti them. I'm just a little bit farther back so they can't just close distance on me. If I'm playing against double shield, I'm looking for opportunities to find big nades because that carries the game instantaneously. There's a reason why I hit my peak playing on into double shield. It's hard, but if you figure out how to play it, it's possible. So positioning, it depends on the comp. What we just said, I think you understand it from a macro perspective and how tempo works, yada, yada, yada. Understand that positioning needs to be more aggressive from you because no matter what comp you're against, it's way too passive. It seems like you played Ana way back in the day when she was good in Brawl, and you just kind of played it like Brawl Ana all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that's true because you played on console. So a Brawl was a big thing on console, and I mean, even back in the day when it was like triple tank, Ana did play a little bit farther back. She doesn't play that way anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, if I was to say number 3, like usually I tell people to play Vaxta. I mean, I don't know if I want to give you a third. I mean, I'll say if you really want to get better at aiming and like being more comfortable, I think Vaxta is a great code for you for maybe like 15, 30 minutes a day just to stay warm.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want to do it, whatever, I don't care, like do your thing. I think Vaxta is just very good if you want to get even better. Your sleeps are consistent, but as people get better, they might not be.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that you can put into the off time. Do you have any questions for me before we close this out?
No.
Do you want to plug your Twitch, your YouTube, Twitter, whatever it is? Just go right ahead. Plug everything.
Twitch.tv/BDogOW. That's it, baby.
BDogOW. I'm sure that I am going to raid you a lot more in the future if I stream when you're streaming and end stream, but I don't know if I'm going to do that. Anyways, go look out for BDog. Please send me that link tonight at like 10 so I can put it in the YouTube description so I don't forget. It's going to be in the description because I just reminded myself to do it. But yeah, thank you guys all so much for watching. If you guys do have any questions, please do leave them in the comments down below. And if you're wondering this whole video, is this going to help me in Overwatch 2? It will most definitely help you in Overwatch 2. It's even more important in Overwatch 2 that you are getting anti-nades because that's what is going to be making Ana a somewhat decent character. That and her offensive capabilities. So if you have any questions, again, in the comments, leave them. Look out for Thursday's video and videos for next week. But until next time, this is B-Dog and Paz. Peace out. Paz out. I'll see you in the next one.